The galaxy had long agreed on one thing. Humans were fragile. Not weak in spirit. No, the archives noted their persistence, but biologically insignificant. Soft skin. No natural weapons. No claws, no venom, no scales. On worlds where apex predators towered like living fortresses, humans were dismissed as evolutionary accidents. So when the Coalition deployed observers to the ash world of Keros 9, humanity was not expected to matter. They were wrong. The sky burned red above Keros 9. Lightning arced through sulfur clouds, illuminating the battlefield below, an endless graveyard of shattered warships and molten craters. Sergeant Elias Varn stood alone at the edge of a broken ridge, his rifle slung across his back. His squad was gone. The Coalition retreat had failed. The enemy, the Vorath, had consumed everything in their path. He should have been running. Instead, he heard it. A sound that did not belong. A whimper. Elias turned slowly. There, half-buried beneath twisted metal, was a creature no larger than a wolf, but unmistakably Vorath. Its black carapace shimmered like oil, and its eyes glowed faintly with bioluminescent blue. A cub. Its jaws snapped weakly as Elias approached. "Easy, easy," he muttered, raising his hands. The creature lunged. Teeth sank into his forearm. Elias hissed in pain, staggering back, but he didn't strike. Didn't shoot. Didn't scream. Instead, he crouched again. "It's okay," he said softly, voice shaking. "You're scared." The cub trembled, still clinging to his arm. Blood ran down Elias's wrist. Above them, unseen, Coalition drones recorded everything. High in orbit, inside a command vessel, the alien observers watched in stunned silence. "Why does the human not retaliate?" one asked, mandibles clicking. "That is a Vorath predator," another hissed. "Even juveniles are lethal." The footage zoomed in. The human was soothing it. Elias slowly lowered himself to the ground, ignoring the pain. His free hand moved carefully, gently brushing debris away from the cub. "You're stuck, huh?" The Vorath did not forget. They did not forgive. And they did not misunderstand. Miles away from Elias's position, beneath the shattered remains of a fallen dreadnought, something ancient stirred. A massive shape shifted in the shadows. Its eyes opened, burning like twin stars. It had seen the human, seen the cub, seen the impossible. Elias didn't know he was being watched. He trudged across the broken landscape, the cub wrapped in a torn thermal blanket, cradled against his chest. Every step hurt. His arm throbbed. His suit was failing. But the cub was alive. That was enough. "You've got a hell of a bite," he muttered, glancing down at it. The creature blinked up at him. No aggression now. Just awareness. "Yeah," Elias said quietly. "Didn't think so." Above, the Coalition command chamber buzzed with unease. "This behavior, it spreads," one analyst warned. "Explain." "The Vorath are reacting. Their movements are changing." On screen, massive Vorath warforms shifted positions, not advancing, not retreating. Observing. Back on the surface, Elias reached a ridge overlooking a valley of blackened stone. He froze. There were dozens of them. Full-grown Vorath. Towering, armored beasts, each the size of a dropship. And they were all looking at him. "Ah," Elias whispered. "That's not good." The cub stirred in his arms. A low sound escaped it. Not fear. A call. The giants responded. One stepped forward. The ground trembled. Elias slowly lowered himself to his knees. "Well," he muttered, "this is it." He didn't raise his weapon. Didn't run. Just held the cub a little closer. The massive Vorath stopped just meters away. Its head lowered. Close enough that Elias could see the intricate patterns in its carapace, scars of countless battles. Its eyes locked onto him. Then shifted. To the cub. Silence. Then. The cub wriggled free and stumbled forward. Elias tensed. But the giant didn't attack. Instead, it leaned down. Gently. Carefully. It touched the cub with its massive head. News spread faster than light. Across Coalition worlds, across battlefronts, across systems teetering on extinction. The Vorath had stopped. Not completely. But enough to matter. Ships that should have been destroyed were ignored. Colonies marked for annihilation were bypassed. Entire warfronts stalled. The explanation was simple. And impossible. A human altered their behavior. The statement echoed through the council chamber. "No species has ever influenced the Vorath," one delegate said, trembling. "They consume. They eradicate. They do not negotiate." "And yet they responded," another whispered. "To compassion." Back on Keros 9, Elias had become something else. Not a soldier. Not a survivor. A symbol. He walked among giants. The cub, now rarely leaving his side, had become his shield, his translator, his proof. Where it went, the Vorith followed. Where Elias walked, they did not destroy. But the peace was fragile, because not all Vorith agreed. Deep within the storm-racked mountains, something older than the rest stirred. The Prime. The original. The mind behind the swarm. It had seen the recordings, felt the disruption, and it did not see hope. It saw a threat. Humanity spreads weakness. The Prime pulsed across the neural network. This must be corrected. And so it began to move. Elias felt it before he saw it. The cub grew restless. The giants became agitated. The sky darkened. What's coming? Elias asked quietly. The cub made a low, warning sound. Then the ground cracked. Something enormous emerged from beneath the surface. Larger than any Vorith Elias had seen. Its presence alone bent the air. The Prime had arrived, and it did not hesitate. The Prime did not approach slowly. It attacked. The ground exploded beneath Elias as the massive creature surged forward, faster than anything its size had a right to move. The surrounding Vorith scattered, not in fear, but in obedience. Elias didn't run. He couldn't. The cub stood in front of him, trembling, but defiant. No, Elias whispered. Don't. The Prime loomed above them, its eyes blazing with alien fury. You corrupt the order. It pulsed, its voice reverberating through the very air. Elias staggered. You talk, he gasped. You weaken them, the Prime continued. You must be removed. It raised a massive limb. Elias stepped forward. Wait, he shouted. The world seemed to pause. Elias dropped his weapon, raised his empty hands. You're wrong, he said. The Prime hesitated. They're not weak, Elias continued, voice steady despite the terror clawing at his chest. They're choosing. The cub moved beside him, pressed against his leg. You think survival is everything, Elias said. But there's more than that. The Prime's gaze flickered. There's connection, Elias said softly. There's trust. The massive creature trembled. For the first time, it hesitated. But hesitation was not enough. The Prime roared and struck. The impact never came, because something else moved first. The cub. It leapt, straight at the Prime. The valley erupted. The surrounding Vorith surged forward, not attacking Elias, not attacking blindly, but intercepting. They turned on the Prime. For the first time in their existence, the Vorith fought themselves. Elias fell to his knees, watching in shock as titanic forms clashed, the ground splitting beneath them. The cub returned, pressing against him. Alive. You did that, Elias whispered. The battle was brief, violent, final, and when it ended, the Prime lay still. Silence spread across Karos 9. The surviving Vorith turned, not to the corpse, but to Elias, to the human who had not fought, not conquered, not dominated, but understood. Years later, the galaxy would remember this moment, not as the end of a war, but as the beginning of something else, an alliance no one had imagined. They would say humanity changed the Vorith. But Elias knew the truth. They had simply given them a choice. And in doing so, changed the galaxy forever.